For the first time, the Bank of America Championships are in Albuquerque, New Mexico at the Downs. Coming up, we'll preview all 5 graded finals, including the Grade 1 BOA Championship.
This is the AQHA Racing Challenge Update, powered by American Quarter Horse Association.
Hi, I'm Jim Byers. Welcome to our annual Championships Preview edition of the AQHA Racing Challenge Update. It's late October, so the regional challenges that set the fields for the 5 division finals are behind us. Right around the corner is Championships Night at the Downs, October 26th. Coming up, we'll have extensive previews of each of the finals, plus we'll get the thoughts of nationally known racing analyst and handicapper Richard Linehan. As of the production of this show, the races have not been drawn, but we're close enough that we can give you an inside look at the fields. Let's begin with the top contenders in the John Deere Juvenile Division. 2-year-olds go 350 yards in a Grade 2 final here. And the possible favorite is one of the more recent qualifiers. Owner Dustin Cox's homebred J No. 7 enters the John Deere Juvenile Final off a dominating effort in the Will Rogers Downs Regional on September 22nd. An Oklahoma bred and top earner so far for the young stallion I'm a Fancy PYC. J No. 7 enters the Juvenile with 5 wins in 8 starts and a bankroll of more than $124,000. He ran 5th, beaten only a length and a quarter, in the $963,000 Grade 1 Heritage Place Futurity in June. Another Oklahoma bred by a promising stallion is RRELENTLESS. From the first crop of AQHA champion, he's Relentless. A qualifier for the Grade 2 Oklahoma Futurity in March. RRELENTLESS topped that 6th place finish with a win in the Grade 3 John Deere RUIDOSO Downs Juvenile Challenge in June. Prairie Meadows qualifier DIVAS First Moon is doing her best to emulate her multiple stakes winning dam, Shake 'em Diva. Both are North Dakota breds, and like her mother, Diva's First Moon has raced exclusively in the northern tier so far. The trip to Albuquerque will be the first south of Des Moines for Diva's First Moon, who brings along 4 wins in 7 starts, including the 1889 Futurity at Canterbury Park. 6 of the expected 10 starters in the Juvenile won their way into the race through a regional challenge, including Thrill of the Cartel. This is a Texas bred who punched his ticket to the championships by way of Emerald Downs outside Seattle. A son of the hot sire Favorite Cartel, and grandson of early Remington Park Futurity winner Delacrim Smash. Thrill of the Cartel has 3 wins from 5 starts, campaigning so far in the Northwest and Intermountain region for trainer Mark Hanson. Political Blood has waited longer than anybody for this. He won the very first juvenile challenge in late April at Phoenix's Turf Paradise, qualifying 10th fastest and then going off at 54-1. He finished well to score by a neck and enters the final off a 3-month layoff. With thoughts on the John Deere Juvenile, let's welcome in Richard Linehan.
Thanks, Jim. I'm at the Oklahoma Horse Racing Hall of Fame section, G.R. Carter over my shoulder, and talking about J No. 7, my pick in the Juvenile Championship. This is a horse that was the fastest qualifier of the Heritage Place Futurity trials. Heritage Place Futurity, $1 million race here at Remington Park every year. Ran 5th in the finals to a horse named Uptown Babe and Uncle D. Uncle D ran 2nd in that race and went up to Ruidoso Downs. Didn't qualify for the All-American Futurity, but did run in the Consolation and was an easy winner under Cody Smith. So that's a big, big move that this horse could beat Uncle D in the trials of the Heritage Place Futurity. And you got to say something for a horse that's won 5 of 8 lifetime starts. His only trouble seems to be at the gate. Sometimes he'll dwell a little bit or break badly. And if that happens, RRELENTLESS may be the horse to pick up the pieces because he ran 3rd to J No. 7 in the Will Rogers Downs Challenge. Thanks, Jim. Back to you.
Let's go from foals of 2017 to the year before and talk about 3-year-olds. The Adequan Derby final has come up strong this year. It's a Grade 3 at 400 yards. While the favorite for this one might be a bit harder to predict, once again, one of the top qualifying efforts belongs to a horse based at Will Rogers Downs in Claremore, Oklahoma. It literally takes no time for Charlie's Fury to open up on his rivals in this region. And the gelding by Fury of the Wind lives up to his sire's name with a 2 1/4 length victory for owner breeders Tom and Kathleen McNally. Charlie's Fury has spent 8 of his 10 career races in trials or finals, and that experience could be valuable in Albuquerque. Third in this year's Grade 3 Heritage Place Derby, Charlie's Fury is set for his first start outside the Sooner State. Despite placing in a pair of futurities in the upper Midwest last year, Apolitical Mogul did not leave the maiden ranks until late March at Remington Park. Since then, it's been onward and upward, as the Texas-bred daughter of Apolitical Jess has added 5 more wins, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds in her last 9 outings. Most recently third as the favorite in the Altoona Derby at Prairie Meadows. Apolitical Mogul earned her way to the Adequan Final with a rallying win in Prairie's Regional in September. The arrows are mostly pointing up for Adequan Derby contender Valiant Tiberias. We say mostly because after a smashing win in the Ruidoso Downs Challenge back in June, he qualified for the Grade 1 All-American Derby and ran a strong third, only to be disqualified and placed 8th for interference. He has 4 wins and 6 starts in 2019, all in the high altitude of Ruidoso Downs. Look who's back, KR High 5, winner of last year's John Deere Juvenile Championship at Los Alamitos. A year older and back for championships night, this Colorado-bred punched his ticket in May at Los Al with a smart win despite a stumble. Winless in 3 outings since, 2 in Stakes Company, KR High 5 will look to return to the winner's circle and pull off a juvenile derby sweep. Here's the king of the Intermountain West, at least among 3-year-olds. Rob That Wagon swaggers into Albuquerque with 10 wins and 4 seconds in 15 career starts. A qualifier from Pocatello Downs in Idaho, this Texas bred gets a taste of the big stage for trainer Mark Hanson.
He won 6 in a row as a 2-year-old. He's currently on a 4-race win streak. He's ultra consistent. 400 yards isn't quite what he likes to do. He likes a little bit shorter distance, but you know, getting out of the gate clean and being in front will win a lot of races. And we know he's sound, we know he's healthy, and I look for him to have a solid race. Whether it's good enough to win or not is yet to be seen, but at least with Rob That Wagon, we know what we have, and hopefully he just stays consistent.
Richard Linehan saw 4 of the Adequan Derby hopefuls race live at Remington Park this spring, including Apolitical Mogul and Charlie's Fury. Let's see who he likes in here.
That's right, Jim. I did see a couple of these horses race in Remington Park this summer, and I do like a couple of them that come from Oklahoma City. A horse named Charlie's Fury, also Apolitical Mogul, and then a horse that's that I didn't see in Oklahoma City, raced at Ruidoso, and that is Valiant Tiberias. Those are the 3 that really I think will battle for the lead in this race and hit the finish line first. Apolitical Mogul, bloodline's amazing with Apolitical Jess on top, out of a Corona Cartel mare. The horse has won 6 of 11 this year, $81,000 in earnings in 2019. I really like him a lot. Charlie's Fury is a horse that had the fastest qualifying time in the Heritage Place Derby this summer, and then followed that up with a 101 speed index in the Will Rogers Downs Derby Challenge. So that's another one to look for. The Valiant Tiberias horse won the Ruidoso Derby Challenge. So you know that this horse likes running at altitude. That has to be something to be said for that. Got a 101 speed index in the All-American Derby. The fact that he qualified for the All-American is something to be impressed with as well. So those are the 3 horses I like. Back to you, Jim.
Coming up, we'll have the distance and distaff divisions, and just a bit later focus on the Bank of America Championship. But first, the chairman of the AQHA Racing Committee is Mark Brown. He has Just My Kiss going in the championship. We recently spoke to him at the Downs. And Mr. Brown said he sees the championships in Albuquerque as the beginning of a new era for the Challenge program.
The Challenge program is designed for help to smaller breeders like myself, people around the country and give a chance to run their older horses and other regional races that people can run horses they've bred on that and to keep it going on that. And we've had a few hiccups in that in the past. We're trying to fix it with changes we're making. And one change is trying to find a place locally, centrally located in that. And Albuquerque was brought up in the conversation when we brought it here. These guys have been great to work with in that. They're happy to have us here. They're doing everything to treat the horsemen and the AQHA great. we're getting a great response. Our entries are up. The undercard is, we're going to have, looks like pretty full fields in the undercard for the first time in quite a few years. We've got a lot of the regional champions that have showed up, but when they were shipping so far, they was a little bit reluctant. But it's really looking pretty good in that, and and they've put up the money in that, and they've got events for us. They got golf tournaments, fashion and wine tasting. They got concerts. It's going to be a good time in Albuquerque.
If I could tell my horse one thing, you've shown me what it is to dream. And because of you, I've known what it's like to realize those dreams. You gave me the confidence to see I was capable of the best, and you proved to me that hard work really does pay off. You're not just my horse. You're my family. I may hold the reins, but you hold my heart.
The distance division is open to longer winded runners, 3 years of age and up, going 870 yards. This year's Grade 1 final could very well feature a field comprised entirely of regional winners, plus one hard-knocking veteran with a few credentials of his own. That hard knocker is MADEWELL, a graded stakes winner in his own right, but currently cast in a supporting role. Winner of the Grade 2 Remington Distance Championship this spring at the expense of chief rival Ms. ESTHER. MADEWELL sports more than $124,000 in career earnings, but he ran second behind Ms. ESTHER in the Remington and Will Rogers challenges, and to Let There Be Sound in the Albuquerque Challenge. Named after owners Ray and Davey MADEWELL, the Tammy Johnson trainee will try to grab the spotlight in the final. Ms. ESTHER makes her challenge debut off a stirring rally in the Will Rogers Downs Regional, where she saved more ground than MADEWELL. Known for her off-the-pace style, usually with a bit along the inside, she's a late-blooming 5-year-old Oklahoma-bred mare with a pair of graded wins on her ledger at Remington this spring. Owned and trained by Jordan Bauman, Ms. ESTHER has 6 wins, a second and 2/3, going 870 yards. No adjustment to Albuquerque's 5,000-foot altitude should be needed for Let There Be Sound. This John Steinbow trainee wired a good field in the Grade 3 Albuquerque Distance Challenge in July, then tuned up at Zia Park last month with a hard-fought neck victory in the slop. Lightly raced at 2 for 2 this year, the Iowa bred has 6 career wins and more than $121,000 in earnings. Western Canada weighs in with Gone to Be Bright. Still in the Mountain Time Zone, but a long way from his summer home of Evergreen Park in Grand Prairie, Alberta. While at Evergreen, the Alberta bred won a distance challenge to earn the roughly 1,800-mile trip to Albuquerque. He then ran third in Evergreen's regional challenge in the championship division. Handicapping a hook race without knowing post positions is a tough assignment. But if anyone can do that, it's Richard Linehan.
Yeah, Jim, I've got the Distance Challenge Championship narrowed to 2 horses I like. There's a front runner and a closer. So that should narrow it down for you. Let There Be Sound is the front runner. This one is the one that should be getting out of the gate early. John Steinbaugh trains, and this horse is 2 for 2 this year with earnings of $52,000 plus in those 2 wins. The closer I like is Ms. ESTHER. Miss ESTHER is a horse that won the Will Rogers Downs Distance Challenge Championship. Very interesting story on this one. Was bought very cheap by the trainer, owner Jordan Bowman. He told me that he paid peanuts for this horse. She had been running in straight races, and he put her around the hook. And as soon as he did that, she started winning, and she won races, stakes races at Remington Park and Challenge Championship at Will Rogers Downs. That's the 2 I like, Jim. Back to you.
Thanks, Richard. Be sure to look for his analysis again next spring on the simulcast signal from Remington Park. Another Grade 1 final with numerous impressive challenge winners is the only division limited to fillies and mares. It's the ARC DISTAFF final at 400 yards. A deep field in this one is led by Curl's Happy Wagon from the Stacy Charette Hill barn. Second in last year's Grade 1 Texas Classic Derby, and winner of this spring's Grade 3 Dequetta Stakes. Curl's Happy Wagon is out of the graded winning mare Aya Spit Curl Girl, bred and owned by Michael Pohl and Martin Stacy. Curl's Happy Wagon comes in off a layoff since a smashing win in the ARC Canterbury Park Distaff Challenge in July. It's far from a walkover, though, as the Mike Robbins training stable sends out the gray Brazilian filly YASHIRA VISTA. She loved the slop at RUIDOSO Downs in August, winning its Distaff Challenge. Robbins' assistant CODY NOEL says YASHIRA VISTA tries hard on any surface.
If it's down the shed row, down the asphalt street, on the best track in the world, she's going to give you the same race every time. They might outrun her, but they're going to have to really outrun her. She's going to give it to you every time she runs. If every horse was like her, this job would be easy.
A multiple major winner as a 2-year-old in her native Brazil. The 4-year-old YASHIRA VISTA seeks her first North American graded win in the ARC Distaff Final. If you like visually impressive recent races, you'll love LJ MOONRISE. In early October, this 3-year-old filly obliterated her rivals in the final regional run at any track, the ARC Lone Star Park Distaff Challenge. After lighting them up by just over 2 lengths, trainer Leon Bard wheels her back in the Distaff Final, her first try against older competition. PREYN on the Mountain is among the more lightly raced mares pointing to this final, but the 4-year-old daughter of Ivory James enters off her signature achievement to date, the ARC Will Rogers Downs Distaff Challenge. With 3 wins and 4 seconds among 9 tries, this Eddie Willis trainee met some tough opponents during the Remington meeting, including Curl's Happy Wagon and Witona's LaFawn. Oklahoma breds are all over the ARC Distaff contenders list. Once again, here's Richard Linehan.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. In the Distaff Championship, I really like Curl's Happy Wagon. She's exceeded 100 speed index 3 times at 3 different tracks, Canterbury, Lone Star, and Remington Park. So she can travel and win. She's the top earner in the field with $197,000 plus. Comes out of Stacy Charette Hill's barn, and Stacy has won more than $10 million in earnings in her career. So she is a top trainer. If you're looking for an upsetter, it might be YASHIRA VISTA. Could pull off the upset. YASHIRA VISTA, strong horse out of Brazil. LJ MOONRISE is the Distaff champion from Lone Star Park and 4th in the Retama Derby. So that's a horse that can win, has done it 5 of 11 times lifetime. Witona's LaFawn is another one you need to look at out of Clint Crawford's barn. His horses always run well, and she is 1 for 4 this year, $25,000 in earnings. Back to you, Jim.
Still to come is a look at the main event, the Grade 1 Bank of America Challenge Championship.
If I could tell my horse one thing, I would tell her you're my daughter's BFF. You are her quiet time, her free time. I love the way she looks in your eyes and kisses on you every day. She's learned that you are more than just an animal. You are her everything. You hold her heart, and you hold mine when you hold her.
The AQHA Racing Challenge Update, powered by American Quarter Horse Association.
The principles of the challenge program include casting a wide geographical net, allowing horses from a variety of regions and 4 countries the chance to run for big money. Another is win your regional challenge and you're in the final of that division. Many of this year's regional winners are back for the championships, and some of the most impressive have waited a few months for their chance at the Grade 1 BOA Championship for 3-year-olds and up at 440 yards. Among the first to qualify is multiple graded winner Ian CAPO. He leveled a good field in the Grade 2 BOA Remington Park Championship Challenge in May. A graded winner in each of the 3 years he's raced, the 5-year-old Capo de Capi gelding enters the championship 12 for 20, with earnings in excess of $541,000. Among his chief rivals is Josue Ponce stablemate Kaz Tempting. Another early qualifier, this Texas-bred 4-year-old colt made the championship off a neck victory in the Grade 2 BOA Sam Houston Challenge, May 11th. Since then, Kaz Tempting won the TQHA Classic at Retama Park and finished a close second as a heavy favorite in the King William at Retama. Another Texas-based contender is SF Hot Pass, runner-up to Kaz Tempting at Sam Houston, and a winner of 2 straight since. He's proven at the distance, having won last year's Grade 1 Refrigerator at 440. The Leon Bard trainee dead-heated for the win in the TQHA 250 Stakes this summer at Retama, then returned from a short layoff to blitz Texas breds in the recent Neville Stakes at Lone Star. Another well-traveled member of the Mark Hanson stable is Cool Odds. This California bred ran second in last year's Emerald Downs Championship Challenge, then topped that by winning 2 championship regionals in 2019. He polished off 9 rivals at Sandy Downs in Idaho Falls on July 4th, then settled a score at Emerald by winning its challenge in late August. Hanson says, like many of his Intermountain horses, Cool Odds travels like a pro.
He's hauled that pretty much every out of his life, so this is just another day for him, another track. Luckily, he seems to take his track with him. It doesn't really matter, the surface or if it's wet or deep or soft. He definitely prefers a fast track. He seems to be handling this one well, and just don't get in his way. He knows what he's supposed to do, and he's eating, he's happy, and he just needs some racing luck.
Cool Odds is a Cal-bred racing in the Northwest, while Jess My Kiss is an Idaho bred based in California. Owned by Mark and Peggy Brown, Jess My Kiss ran third in the Grade 3 Los Alamitos Challenge behind defending champ P.H. Lisa's Boy and Fenian Faith. No shame in that, plus he followed by beating an allowance field that included graded winner EOS APOLLITICAL win. Brown said he likes the consistency of his 4-year-old, who took home the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Winter Derby in 2018.
This horse is one that my wife and we raised. We got a small breeding farm that. He's homegrown. He won the Winter Derby at Los Al. He qualified for 5 graded stakes at Los Al last year. Qualified for the $2 million in the Ed Burke. He's just been a very consistent running horse. It's a great lineup of horses. The horses that are in there, they wouldn't be here if they wasn't good horses. There's tough horses wherever you go in that, and so I think he'll be competitive.
Like Jess My Kiss, PYC Just Bite My Dust is a $250,000 earner. This Minnesota-bred gelding by PYC Paint Your Wagon is a veteran stakes competitor with 5 non-graded stakes wins from age 2 to 5. He came up big in July with a game tally in the BOA Canterbury Park Championship Challenge for trainer Jason Olmstead and owner-breeder Lunderborg LLC. 3 Olives and Smoke has experience in the BOA Championship. 2 years ago at Prairie Meadows, the Colorado bred ran second behind the Fiscal Cliff at 35-1. This year, he again caught a wet surface in Iowa in Prairie's Grade 2 Challenge and wired that field to earn his first trip to New Mexico. Altitude should not be an issue. He once won 6 straight at Arapahoe Park. For the final time, let's bring in Richard Linehan for his view of the BOA Championship.
Yeah, Jim, thanks a lot. The Bank of America Challenge Championships. Got Iron Capo on top. Horse that ran 114 speed index in the Dash for Cash Stakes at Lone Star Park as a 2-year-old. This is a horse that's had a speed index of 104 when he qualified for the Remington Park Championship Challenge here for this race, and also had a 109 at Delta Downs in the Poly Classic Stakes. 3 for 4 this year with $76,000 in earnings plus. Lifetime $541,000 plus in earnings, and that is by far the top earner in this field. If you got a horse for second, it might be SF Hot Pass, multiple stakes winner at Lone Star Park, and has won stakes races at Retama Park near San Antonio. That's the 2 I like, Jim, for this race. Back to you.
Thanks, Richard. The very first racing challenge was held at Sunland Park in New Mexico in 1993. 26 years later, the championships returned to New Mexico for the first time since that inaugural edition. RACEView Network will be at the Downs at Albuquerque for the big night on October 26th. We'll have our complete recap on the final edition of this series for 2019, so be sure to look for that. Meanwhile, enjoy the BOA Championships, and from all of us at RACEView Network, I'm Jim Byers. Thanks for watching. Please come back for our championships recap on the next AQHA Racing Challenge update.